Both today and next week offer up glimpses for Black Ops 6 gameplay and further details. From Intel drops to Gamescom opening night live, we've got a busy next week ahead for Black Ops 6 reveals. So today, I want to take some time to let you know what you need to and what you may have missed today, but along with what's still upcoming that you should be on the lookout for over the next coming days. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What do you think about what's revealed and what's still to come? Let me know how you feel about it. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more Black Ops 6 coverage. Again, we've got a lot upcoming here this month that I'd love to have in the community. But for now, let's take a look at these new reveals and those things still upcoming. So as for today's stuff, surprisingly, but a welcome surprise for me at least, we're still getting first looks at zombies. A lot of stuff very early on in the year for zombies this time around. Historically speaking, that's usually saved until later on into the year. But we have multiple zombies reveals before even multiplayer reveals. Now granted, yeah, multiplayer did leak quite a bit as the last couple of weeks, but in terms of official stuff, zombies is still here once again. Today we got a new Intel drop, something that we've seen somewhat regularly now each pre-launch and pre-reveal window since Modern Warfare 2. Genuinely do enjoy them. It's a nice little peek behind the curtain per se, but in today's Intel drop we got a continuation of kind of what we learned from last week's zombies reveal. Nothing too crazy, nothing too new, but just further insight really. This Intel drop was on the map of Terminus. Of course, we have not seen anything in regards to Liberty Falls. That'll be coming at COD Next at the end of the month. But for Terminus, we had some details about the map and the sort of elements you can expect to see on it. The map itself, set in the Philippine Sea, takes place 5 years after the events of the Cold War zombie storyline, part jail, part lab with experimentation, and part sort of multi-island layout. It's described it is a living world, which brings new ways to set the ambiance of the map. There are scripted elements and encounters to the map that the player will come across. Players can say walk past a zombie attacking a guard, where the zombie will then shift its focus to you, the player. There are times when you'll walk up to a zombie that you think is dead and it'll come back to life a little bit. And one of the main ones they focused on was the sort of lab area in the underbelly of all of this. It ends up having vats with zombies in it, where if a player walks by it, they detail that there's, the first time that happens, an event where the zombies will come out of that. They'll break out and try to attack you. So really cool use of the AI elements that we've seen utilized the last few years here, starting with Modern Warfare 2 and that DMZ AI, and then seen further into the mercenary AI and such with Modern Warfare Zombies this year. Adds the sort of world lore of what's happening. Zombies are still taking over the island, and it's very apparent that the sort of storyline progresses with you, where the overrun nature happens right in front of your eyes. They talked a little bit about the Easter egg, saying that it's going to use the ocean, the islands, and every sort of province they have with it. There's a drivable vehicle in the zombies map, which is a sort of fortified rib that you can go from area to area with, which is pretty cool, though you have to realize there's giant zombie monsters in the water, so you got to be careful of that. But with drivable sector elements, it reminds me of a cool, almost another stab at what Transit attempted way back in the day. Now, that might be a little bit over the top or maybe too far of a comparison, but while it's not nearly as large in scale where there's multiple maps in one, the concept of it is what I mean and what makes sense to me. Now, maybe now, 10 plus years later, that ambition is finally caught up by the tech, which is what limited the potential back in Black Ops 2 with Transit. So, of course, more and more will be revealed here for zombies, but that was the details we got here. The gameplay look of the new Terminus map, of course, more coming at COD Next, and then further details on Liberty Falls. So we'll see how that works out, but that was today's reveals. Now, when it comes to what's upcoming next, the next thing, pending no changes to where we see something drop in the meantime from now until next week, the next thing we'll have is the campaign showcase at Gamescom. It was confirmed a few days ago that Gamescom opening night live, hosted by Jeff Keighley, would end up showcasing a bit of the Black Ops 6 campaign. The show kicks off at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. BST on August 20th, so 1 week from today. Amidst that, it was also confirmed we'd see not only Black Ops 6, but also other games like Monster Hunter Wilds, Marvel Rivals, Dune Awakening, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Civilization 7, and more new game announcements. So the show is going to have some good stuff regardless, but for COD fans in particular, it's confirmed Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is coming to Gamescom opening night live on Tuesday, August 20th. Tune in for the first campaign playthrough reveal live from Germany. Now, historically, the shows themselves are anywhere from like 2.5 to 3 hours long, but that changes depending on the volume of the show, how much each year ends up having to showcase in terms of what games are coming. Now, in terms of timing for the show in particular, it's never really been a situation of Call of Duty Duty headlines or is the sort of opening act for this. You don't ever usually see them at the beginning or the very end, but we've seen it relatively in the middle, maybe a little bit more front-loaded in prior years. Modern Warfare 3 came about an hour and a half into the show, Vanguard was about 35 minutes into the 2021 presentation, and Cold War was about 20 minutes into the show in 2020, though it was like 40 minutes into the show with the pre-show countdown from when the broadcast started back then. So again, a little bit more front-loaded, but also it's still going to take a little bit of time in that show to get to that. Now, where you can watch this, it'll be on a various number of locations. The top two likely, though, for your ease of access will be YouTube and Twitch on the Opening Night Live and Game Awards channels. And as for what you can expect, well, of course, a campaign mission. We know we're going to see campaign gameplay, so mostly a glimpse at what the narrative is going to hold, some of the backstory there, some new features perhaps in campaign, but nothing crazy in regards to details for like multiplayer or zombies or anything like that. One thing that I would not be surprised that they announce there, if they do, since they haven't done already, is perhaps the inclusion of campaign early access as a pre-order bonus. I feel like that's been something that's been a sort of relatively successful experiment the last 2 years with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, and offer some genuine value to pre-ordering that I think in terms of at least playability and sort of balancing your launch day schedule kind of makes it a bit more worthwhile. I'm not saying that it's worth to pre-order overall, that's entirely subjective, but for that it's at least something that, yeah, you get something actually beneficial out of that. And you can do it all the way up until that sort of point of when early access actually starts. So you can get hands-on gameplay with the beta and see if you do like the game or not. But anyways, I'm rather surprised that we haven't seen anything in relation to an announcement for that this year already. So if that is something that does happen, this would probably be the perfect time for that to end up being announced. But either way, in regards to the reveals showcased, I'd wager it's one of the two missions that we've already seen shown to press and creators all the way back in the June reveal event. Either Capital Station, or I think it was called Hunting Season, was the other mission. Capital Station is the mission where you're infiltrating a bunker underneath a campaign event for the Clinton administration, where you have to rescue Adler from the Pantheon, this shadow organization of bad guys. But in this mission, you can use multiple avenues to take, where you can hack a silent auction computer, blackmail a senator's wife, and so on. A couple of different areas like that you have the option of how you get from point A to point B. Like we've talked about in Black Ops Cold War, that mission Desperate Measures in the Lubyanka building, where you have to end up getting Adler and the rest of the crew into the building as an undercover double agent. But then when you gain access to this bunker in this mission Capital Station, you have to rescue Adler, where you eventually come to that sequence that you see in the reveal trailer, where you're riding out of the gala on a dirt bike into the streets as the cops are surrounding you. Hunting Season, if that's the name that is kept, takes place in Iraq, where Helen Park is still alive and you're together raiding Saddam Hussein's palace for information on the Pantheon. You can go either stealthy or hot, it's up to you, but it again takes place in the Middle East here at this. It's possible that neither of those missions are shown off, but a lot of the times they like to keep things close to the chest, so what they show a couple of months earlier is usually one of the things they show here at the gameplay reveals. It's been that way for, I think, the majority of years that I've been at least following COD, going all the way back to like Advanced Warfare campaign gameplay showcases. So either way, really excited for that stuff to be finally coming out after just being able to talk about it for a few months, but no actual reference points to put up on screen for what this will actually look like. We didn't get any recordings or anything of that, so it'll be nice to see that actually out there in the wild. But that is what you can expect coming up as of next week. We got a lot of stuff here upcoming this week still in regards to the content, but just wanted to get that sort of out there and give a heads up ahead of time so that you know what you're looking forward to going into it. So that said, that is, we're going to wrap it up. Just wanted to fill you guys in a little bit on the reveals today and what is still upcoming in the next week. So that said, your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of the reveals upcoming? Do you like what we learned about zombies today? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so much a single thing running all things Black Ops 6 and a bunch of other stuff here upcoming as well. We've got a very busy August and beyond, so I'd love to have in the community. For now though, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.